Hey, hi, hello, and welcome to the channel, everybody. Welcome on in. Come in, sit down, have a seat, get comfortable. Welcome to the channel again. We do talk true crime here every day. So if you're new to the channel and that's something that you like, maybe you'll appreciate tonight's case coverage and you'll hit the subscribe button. You never know. We might get lucky. And if you guys don't mind, maybe you'll hit the like button as well. Just get that out of the way. Get that out of the way early, you know. Subscribe, like, all those good things. But how's everybody's Friday? Friday, end of the week. I didn't even realize it was Friday. I thought today was Thursday all day long, all day until tonight, until like just probably like a couple hours ago. So if you're like me and you didn't know what day it was, hit the like button. But anyways, so welcome to the channel. We're going to talk about actually whatever you guys kind of want to talk about tonight. That's what we're going to do a little case updates for y'all. So welcome in, everybody. Come in, get seated. Like I said, I'm really shiny tonight. I just did skincare. So if you're wondering why I'm shiny, that's why. And my name is Tanya, or Titaniumbuilt. You know, wherever it's at. If you guys didn't know my name. It's good to see you guys. How's your guys' Friday? Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Ashley. Hey, ALR. Hey, Mary Beth. Welcome in. And thank you guys for the orders today. I got some orders in today and it was so fun. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a busy bee. Look at me go. Look at me go. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. It helped me get through today. I had it was a rough day for me. So I appreciate it. Skeptical Robin, thank you for becoming a member. Look at that picture. Thank you. Welcome on in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Ladybug's here. Catherine's here. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Citizen Sleuth. Hey, Aries, your birthday's tomorrow, right? Is it tomorrow? Happy birthday, though. Hey, Princess. In case you ditch us, you know. Hey, ALR, I said that already, but we'll say it again. There's Skeptical Robin. And then we got DMs here. Hey, there's Loves to Lurk. I was going to spell out your name over in Malicious Intense Dream because like she's like, I can't say the rest. And I was like, I know it now. I know it. Those are the ones. You guys always spell them out for me if I don't know your name. I love that. Hey, Tony. Welcome in. Hey, Heather. Well, it's good to see you guys. I'm going to float down to the bottom. Hey, Panda. Welcome in, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Good to see everybody. Happy birthday, Eve. Yeah. Happy birthday, Eve. That means your birthday is on a Saturday this year. Like, I think you said that maybe last time. Hey, Niners girl, but man, you could like do so much fun stuff with that. I don't know what my last birthday, I think we went to dinner or something. We don't, I don't know. Older you get, I think the less you do. But I want my 40th better be nice. Like I want it to be big and nice. Even if it's just like me and Vince, I want to go somewhere nice and like far away and tropical and do something fun for the 40th, you know? But I was looking through our cases today, so I figured why not come on and do like a case updates, and we'll just go over some of the cases that we're following. I did see some stuff today. I can't handle life when it comes to kids and and cases that we cover with kids. It really gets to me. It really does. Law and Crime put out a video today on Matalina Coari and her mom, and how her mom is, off in Moldova. Bye bye. See you later. And I'm like, well, you guys are a little too late. And they say in here they've been covering this since 2022. They probably made a few videos, maybe 2 or 3. I don't even know. I could probably count on one hand for sure. They haven't been following this. They didn't even follow that. They didn't even go to the trial, like the little trial they had for Chris Paul Metler and like record it or anything. You know what I mean? They just let local news do it. So I don't know. I hate when people do this kind of stuff because it's like, where y'all been? Y'all are like too late almost, you know? Anyway, I'm on my high horse with that one. No, Faith, no. I'm so sorry about your cat. I don't know where mine is, but damn it, where's he at? I need to find him now. I'm my notebook right here. My cat's 16, and actually, I think he turned 17 today because I kind of forgot it was his birthday. So we're gonna do something more for him. I'm getting him a birthday hat. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I mean, I genuinely. Oh, it hurts my heart. How old? How old was your cat? Because mine like 16, 17. He's still jumping up on the counter and shit. Like but I noticed when he didn't feel good like this last few weeks, like he didn't feel good for a couple days. Since then, he hasn't been. I haven't seen him jump from counter to counter, which is unlike him. But he does jump up on the bench and get on the counter. He's still getting up there. He was 16. I just have him for a few more years, because it's going to be devastating. But we'll cover that whenever we get there, and I'll be on here probably. So if you see me come on here and I'm crying, that's why. Because I wouldn't cry. I wouldn't come on and cry normally, but I probably would. I would probably do that if I, when I lose my cat. Vincent will, console me, but you always need a lot of people. You always need a lot of people. You need stuff to take your brain off of it. So I'm gonna stop talking about it because then it's gonna make me cry. I've been crying all day. But I do appreciate everybody. I want to thank you guys for reaching out to me today. Like I didn't make a post for everybody, but I made it on the members. I made a members only post, and you guys really were very, very sweet. Let me put my desk up a little bit. Sorry, but you guys were very sweet. You guys all wish my mom a happy birthday. It would have been my mom's birthday today. She would have been 71. So I really appreciate all the comments and the emails and everything. It really means a lot because it was a hard day. I didn't realize how hard it was going to be. I didn't at all. I was literally just like crying. And I was like, man, just stop crying, but it's, so, okay. Now that I talked your ears off for 9 minutes, everyone's probably like, I'm leaving. She's depressing. Sorry, guys. It was a depressing day, but I'm going to make up for it. I'm going to gift out 5 memberships tonight. So I'll make it up for it. So make sure you're subscribed, you're in the chat, and that usually helps at least raise your odds of getting the membership. But tonight's going to be laid back live. There's a few updates and some of the cases that we're following that I found online, so we can cover those. If you guys have any case that you want me to look up that we've covered, or even if we haven't covered it, maybe it's a case, just something that we can kind of go through that's not super in depth, we can cover it. We can look some stuff up. Whatever you guys want to do, it's your guys' night to pick whatever you guys want to do, whatever you guys want to, cover. So I did want to see if there was anything up on the judicial branch for old Kohlberger. Now I feel like my desk needs to go down a little. Sorry. Sorry, guys. And welcome in, everybody. Hey, Cat's Life. I don't know if I said hi to you. Hey, Mandy. Hey, Jilly. Is it Jilly or Jill with an E? Is the E silent? Jilly. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Doodlebug. There's Doodlebug. Where you been, Doodlebug? There's Doodlebug. Who asked about Doodlebug last night? Someone asked about you. I can't remember who it was though. They were like, Doodlebug hasn't been here for a while. So, okay. Now I've talked to her for 10 minutes. So let's go and get into some stuff. But I'm going to gift all 5 memberships, like I said. Tomorrow morning, I do have a premiere for the Idaho 4 podcast that we've been following, season 2, episode 4. Episode 5 will be coming out Saturday and Sunday, both at 11:15 a.m. They're both going to be premieres, and they're like 45 minutes long. So you guys can go in there and chit chat in the morning if you want to, while you're drinking your coffee or whatever you do around 11:15 in the morning, if you'd like to. I'm going to put the link in the chat. That way, if you guys didn't get notifications or if you're not subscribed yet, you'll have the link. So there you go. Okay, awesome. So we cover a lot of cases on this channel. So I have, and we'll just probably pick a couple to go over tonight because there are so many. But we have Elijah Vu, Sebastian Rogers, Matalina Coari, Caleb Harris, and Idaho 4, and also Maddie Soto. So we can touch up on, a few of those, whichever ones you guys want to do. Let me know. I'll just kind of start, and then and then you can let me know. Was this the one? I watched that today, but I don't know if maybe we'll do this one instead. No, I think this one's, this is our actual. Let's see. I wanted to play a video, but wow, that's like crazy. Like if you look stuff up like for Elijah Vu, it's like there's like nothing. You know what I mean? There's nothing. That's crazy. Naomi, member for 8 months. Oh, I'm so glad you've been a member for that long. Thank you, Naomi. I appreciate it. It'll be 9 years this year. And when I heard 71, I don't know, it hit me harder. It hit me hard. Like my mom would have been 71 years old. I could picture her too. I could picture at 71. Like, I don't know. I could still like smell my mom. She was my best friend, just like makes me smile. And some of you guys wrote some really sweet stuff and I was crying. You guys had me crying. I was like, oh, you guys are so sweet. So that's why we'll talk about kids case. We'll talk about kids case tonight. We'll start off with Elijah Vu and then I'll get fired up. I'll get my fire back in me. But I'm so glad you've been a member for that long, Naomi. It's good to see you. Losing moms is rough too because like the older you get, like the more questions you have or like stuff you want to tell them, and you're like, shit. Like when I was younger, I wouldn't have probably had anything to say, but at 38, I have a lot. So we'll start with Elijah Vu. If you're unfamiliar with his case, I'm sure they'll go through it, but let me see if they do. They might not. Okay, they don't. So basically, a little Elijah Vu went missing in February 20th, I believe the date was, 3 years old. He went missing from Jesse Vang's residence, which is Katrina Barr, his mother, Elijah's mom's boyfriend's house. Elijah was sent there at the age of 3 to be taught how to become a man. They live about an hour away from each other. So he went to, I believe, Twin Rivers. That was called Twin Rivers. And they charged both of them with chronic child neglect, and they are both going to court. He pled not guilty. She pled not guilty, but I think she is going to change her plea to guilty. And that's what we're going to read about right now. I don't know how all these moms are getting out of jail without producing children. Like, I don't get it. Do we have a lawyer in here? Do we have somebody that knows how this works? Where's Jan when we need her? She said she knew that, and she knows someone in the NYPD retired now. I mean, 'cause I really have a question, like, how does that work? How do you get charged with just chronic child neglect, but your child is gone? Like, it's not like, so do they charge them with that and then they'll charge them like later on? Like they'll up the charges like they did with Madalina's mom. Once she left the country, they decided to make her a suspect in Madalina's disappearance. It's like, are you kidding? You guys are 2 years too late. Where y'all been? Where y'all been? It's crazy. Doodle. It hasn't calmed down. It's just got worse. It's just gotten worse. And we could talk about that too if you guys want to, the craziness around the YouTube streets. I mean, I'll talk about it. It's nuts. I don't even know who's who anymore. I really don't. I don't know who likes who. I don't know who's friends with who. I just know that it is crazy. It has been real crazy up in here. Yeah. Like, I step into the chat, like I put my toe in like at the pool. Is it okay to come in? Is this a safe place? You know? It's been pretty crazy. It's been pretty crazy, Doodlebug. It's been nuts. It hasn't gotten any better. I mean, even like Stephanie Harlow, one of the biggest YouTubers for true crime, is in like shit. You know what I mean? Like everybody. And Vincent was always like, this will happen to bigger creators. I was like, look at this one. I was like, yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's crazy, isn't it, Chosen? Oh man. I'm glad I'm not involved in it. I mean, I'm just try me. It don't work. I'll just, smile and keep going. Hey, Solo. I mean, really, like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? It's so funny though. But we're gonna talk about Elijah. You guys have me laughing there. The mother of missing 3-year-old Elijah Vu was expected to have a plea hearing on Thursday, but that has been delayed. And they just wrote this. This was updated today, and it came out yesterday. Wisconsin Circuit Court records show the 31-year-old Katrina Barr appeared by video in custody with her attorney, but the two asked for a brief adjournment to finalize some issues raised. I think I had that video. Barr will now be back at the Manitowoc County Courthouse on July 26th at 1 p.m. for a new plea hearing on behalf of Judge Robert Duane. We need to send me to Manitowoc County. I got 7 days to get there. Wouldn't that be something? Barr is facing a felony charge for chronic neglect of a child as a party to the crime and 3 misdemeanor charges for the disappearance of her 3-year-old son. Like, I would literally be in the courthouse, like, raising my hand, like, and saying, Judge, I have a question. Can you answer my question? Like, why are we letting her go? What are we doing here? The last person to see Elijah was Barr's boyfriend, Jesse Vang, who's also facing a felony charge of chronic neglect of a child as a party to a crime. Vang reported Elijah Vu missing on February 20th, and despite thorough and extensive searches through much of Manitowoc County, he has not been found. Vang will return to court on September 27th for a status conference. He's going through the system. He's doing all the things. He's trying to fight it. I mean, obviously, I guess. I mean, if he pleads guilty to that, they can say he's a suspect in, the disappearance and death of Elijah. And if he pleads guilty, that wouldn't look good, on the other charge. So that's probably why he's fighting it. He's been in the system plenty of times before. We've seen the mugshots. There was like 14 of them or something crazy. I don't know. There was like 12 at least, I think 10 or 12. There was a ton of mugshots for him. So they go back to court. She goes back. It looks like, what did they say? To July 26th. So let me get my notes out here. Because we have a lot of court cases coming up. Okay, sorry. I had to click that pin in your guys' ear. Thank you guys all for being here. I really appreciate it. I really do. I know there's a lot of people live tonight. And I'm glad that you guys are here with me. Okay. I spelled her name all wrong. I don't even know what I spelled there, but I'll figure that out. I'll be looking at that later like, what does it even say? Mhm. I know Jesse Vang knows where Elijah is. Yep. Just like Dara and Stacy know where Monkey is. Yep. Man, that's such a sad case too. Man, that poor little boy. That poor little boy. Both of these kids. It's that's I mean, it to be make him become a man. I still can't wrap my head around it. I would love to talk to Jesse Vang one-on-one. I would love that. No, I have no fear of him. I would love to talk to him. Let him put bruises on me. Let him put bruises on my face and my neck and my shoulder and my arm. Like what? You had to beat up a 3-year-old to feel I think that was to make you feel like a man. Did it work? Do you feel like a man? Did it make you feel good? Like, I have questions. I mean, like, when you hit a child, does that make you feel good? Like, I mean, I don't get I just I hate people. I hate people, I do. I really pray for this little boy, but I do not feel good about this. I just don't feel good about this case. It's just different. I mean, like Madalina's case, I feel like in her case, I do feel like she's alive. I do. I genuinely in my heart, I feel like she's out there somewhere. We just gotta find her. But with like Elijah, I just don't have that same like feeling. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not going over feelings here, but that's my feeling. That's my opinion. And empathetic, he's a coward. Yeah, Lenora. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Yankee Kyle, welcome in. Exactly. You can't make a baby into a man no matter how much you torture them. Yep. Could you imagine the cold shower? I hate cold showers. I hate standing up for hours on end. I used to serve tables. That's horrible. The praying, I mean, I don't mind praying, but praying to my mom saying, "I'm sorry, mommy," that is torture. That's not even punishment at that point. That's torture. Say, "I'm sorry, mommy." That I couldn't even imagine in my head, like, being a 3-year-old, you have a little brain in there, it works. You're thinking things, you just you don't remember them as you get older, but at the time, you were thinking things, like, you're there. It's so sad. Madeline's case is the only missing child's case I've ever followed where PD has said over and over they think she's alive. Yes, loves to lurk. I just man, I just feel so good. I feel good about her case. I don't know. And it might be like I need to look that up too, that video of her mom, like, walking out of the jail. When they say something like, "Where's Matalina?" or "Do you know where Matalina is?" And she just it's so quick, but she smirks a little bit, and it's, almost like she lights up a little bit, like, just for, like such like a millisecond, and it's like she knows where she is or something, to me anyway, and I don't know, I feel like she's out there. So I figured we would watch this together. Yeah, he was a toddler, 3 years old. And I'll make sure that we watch her court hearing and stuff too. If you guys are interested in that, we can definitely if they, do it. And Loves to Lurk knows so much about Madalina's case too. So, if you have any questions, ask us both because I know Loves to Lurk. You've been so in this case since the beginning. You were on the Facebook page. I was over there looking earlier. I hadn't looked over there, like, really, really looked, and this case is deeper than we probably all think. I don't know. The Facebook group is like digging. They've dug deep. They've dug into like cults. They've dug into like, it's deep. It's deep, deep. So I've got to learn more. I still have to learn more. Loves to Lurk's gonna have to give me some classes. Because I thought I knew this case, and I was like looking at the Facebook page today, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much more than I even realized. Now, I remember Diana having a video on YouTube at one point. I'm pretty sure it's still up. It was from like 9 years ago. We watched it on one of our lives. It looks almost like a bridal video or something, like a mail order bride, a mail like video like that. Like, it was like just highlighting her achievements and what she looked like and how she, I don't know, the way she presented herself. I'll have to find that video. Right, Naomi? Me too. I had a great mom too. Yeah. My mom was a damn saint. That woman was a saint. I mean, woo, handling me and my dad and my brother. No, she really was though. So I wanted to watch this with you guys. I watched like half of it and I was getting fuming. I was just fuming because I wish that there was more. I wish there would have been more eyes, more coverage, more everything on this case when it was happening. Like when her mom was getting arrested, when her mom was first going to jail. I mean, they even let her out. They even let her off on the rug charge when she had possession of the rugs in jail. They just let that charge go. Like, why are we just letting charges go? And then her mom comes over, right? She's in jail. Grandma Coari comes over and says, if you let my daughter out of jail, we will leave your country. She didn't say nothing about Matalina. Didn't say, oh, we're going to go find Matalina. No, she just said, we'll leave your country. So, and that's exactly what they did. So here we are. Now I feel like I need to call. I feel like we should write the police like department, maybe chief of police, and just say, hey, what are the next steps in this investigation? Are you allowed to tell us that? Like, I don't need like I don't need evidence or nothing. I just want to know, what do you do next? Because they don't have an extradition treaty, but I'm hearing other things that there might be a way around that. So I would just like to know. Maybe they could do a press conference or something. But I'm going to play this through and I'll be in the chat. It's like 17 minutes long, so we'll watch it. It's going to tell you all about Matalina's case. If you guys are not aware of her case, she did go missing. The last time she was seen was November 21st, and that was on the school bus. And that's when I believe that's the last time, that she was seen. Her mom said that she saw her the day before Thanksgiving, but last seen on camera, 21st. She was reported missing on December 15th after her mom went to the school and was supposed to produce her because she hadn't been to school for 3 weeks and her mom failed to produce her. Mom and stepfather was arrested, and they were both charged with failure to report a child, and they are both now since been let out of jail. He got 30 months like probation. Christopher, I believe Paul Metler did, and Diana walked out with nothing. Apparently. Oh, thanks for gifting a membership, Naomi. That's so nice of you. Thank you. What do you got? Oh, okay. I was saying, who got it? Mandy got it. Look at that. Don't let me forget to gift memberships either. I'm about to say I will forget too. Okay, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna do it so I won't forget.
The players are there and someone knows something.
A young North Carolina girl vanishes, and now police are naming her mother as a suspect. But with no charges and no arrest, her mother has alleged.
Let me know what you, after like when you're listening to this, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think that Matalina is here somewhere in the US, like hidden, or is she over Moldova, do you think? That's why her mom was so quick to go back over there. Do you think Diana just went back over there just to get the hell out of this country because she knew, like, something might be coming, charges may be coming? I don't know.
Left the country.
She kind of has free reign with a heads up.
Look at her on the plane.
To get to where she wants to go to get out of the country.
That's right on the plane. Look at her. And her mother was behind her. When I saw Grandma Coari, I mean, I about lost it because that interview came back into my head saying, if you just let me and my daughter go, we'll go back to our country. And there they were. Like,
and that's exactly what happened.
We hear from a retired NYPD detective about what may be going through investigators' minds.
Where's the next step? What's the next hurdle? If you're going to the point of announcing she's a suspect, what else are you waiting for?
Plus, what's ahead in the case?
If you have even the slightest ability to charge her, you do it. Because think about it, nothing's going to move forward if you don't charge her. Nothing.
And most importantly, could Matalina Coari still be alive?
One person mentioned she could be somewhere. So you have to keep that as a viable lead until it's not.
Law and Crime has been following this story since it broke in 2022 when 11-year-old Matalina Coari disappeared. She was.
Could you imagine? I just thought of this and made me like smile a little. Can you imagine like if she is alive and we do find her, like we find her and she comes out and she sees like all of these things that people did for her. Like, I wonder if she would she'll notice how loved she was, because there are people out here that are looking for her.
Was last seen
very
on
few of
November
us.
21st, 2022, getting off the school bus in Cornelius, North Carolina. That's about 25 minutes north of Charlotte. The FBI released school bus surveillance video of this, showing Matalina stand in line waiting to get off the bus. She plays with her hair a bit before walking off the bus and exiting the frame. She hasn't been seen since. Here's retired NYPD detective Tom Smith.
Well, first of all, whenever there's a child involved, it's devastating and it's heartbreaking to hear, when a child disappears and what may lay ahead, with her disappearance. When the parents are involved in the investigation, it makes it worse. It makes it more heartbreaking. And the one thing that always triggers me when it comes to children that are missing is, where's everybody else? Like schools, friends, parents. Where are all of them to go, hey, I haven't seen her in a while. Is she okay? Friends knocking on a door, like anything like that, especially school. Like, I don't get the distance or length of time it takes to get an investigation going when it involves a child, especially of school age that's going to school.
Smith is referring to the lapse in time between the day Matalina was last seen and when she was reported missing. That school bus video, her last known sighting, was November 21st, but she wasn't reported missing until December 15th, when her mother, Diana Coari, was called into a meeting with her daughter's school. That's when Diana said her daughter had been missing since November 23rd. It was several weeks until she was reported missing. It was December 15th because her school had a conference with her parents. Finally, it came out, we haven't seen her. So those about 3 weeks.
She did get off the bus,
super valuable in the search for a missing person?
Oh, for 24, 48 hours is important, much less 3 weeks. You could get around the world twice in 3 weeks. And if it's something sinister, if it's something bad, evidence is gone. Witnesses are gone, people recalling when they may have seen her or seen something suspicious is out of your head. Now you're relying on people to kind of get into their memory to remember something, which can happen. Obviously, that can occur, but it's so much better on an investigative level if it's quick and right away.
I want to thank Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring today's Law and Crime YouTube takeover.
Morgan & Morgan. Well, if you ever need a lawyer, Morgan & Morgan, they help people in need. I don't know.
Coari and her then husband, Christopher Palmeter, were later arrested for failure to report Matalina missing. But through police interviews, both Palmeter and Diana told different stories about what happened to Matalina.
Oh, yeah. And rumor has it, well, from the neighbors even, Diana was staying there at night. Now, I don't know if she was staying in the house or if she was staying outside, but she was staying on that property somewhere. So when she was out of jail and he was out of jail, instead of him, allegedly, this is what I'm hearing, I think it was a news article, but she was there at night. And then she'd go to the pool during the day, community pool, and then go back to the house at night.
What's interesting in this case is that the mother and the stepfather kind of pointed fingers at each other, and they came up with varying different, assumptions of what could have happened to Matalina. So one person is saying, okay, yeah, the mom took her, she's hidden overseas with her relatives. And then the mom is saying, hey, the stepdad actually sold her for money. So how do we determine who to believe?
Well, you get them, again, if they were both here, you get them at the same time in separate rooms and you interview them both at the same time. And, then you get who's going to crack, who's going to make the deal, and there's always a deal there. And that's, as a, you know, detective, is what you kind of rely on when you're dealing with two people telling two different stories about one event. You know, who can you get to flip on the other one? And that would have been the time to do it. You know, I wouldn't have named anyone a suspect. They would have been both in the precinct at the same time in two different rooms. And then, you know, one tactic is put them in the same room and see what their reactions are and see what happens. You know, those are all investigative tactics that go on. But then again, you have the ability to add.
Yeah, why didn't they do any of that? I mean, they may have, but we haven't seen any evidence of it. And they won't give me the FOIA. They said, still open investigation. Just give it to me.
Other agencies or other departments to help you out in the investigation.
According to investigators, Diana and her mother discussed the idea that Paul Meter gave Matalina away for money during a jailhouse phone call. In a separate jailhouse call, Paul Meter told his
That's what I'm trying to get, is those jailhouse calls.
Brother, Diana, quote, had a lot of cash with her and he did not know where it came from. Investigators seized more than 20 items when they investigated the couple's home.
We showed these pictures on our last live because loves to lurk.
Guilty to the charge of failure to report and was sentenced to 6 to 17 months in prison. Paul Meter pleaded not guilty. It was a trial that was covered by local North Carolina stations.
Your foreperson has reported to the court you found the defendant, Christopher James Palmenter, in 22 CR 366223, guilty of failure to report disappearance of a child to law enforcement. Was this your verdict, sociology?
Yes. Paul Meter was ultimately sentenced to 30 months of probation.
30 months of probation. The laws need to be tougher. Why are we only given 30 months of probation? I mean, you get caught with a bag of weed and you're going to get more time than that. Like, seriously. And this is a child. Failure to report a child missing and you're getting 30 months probation. I mean, that's ridiculous. I don't even know. I can't even wrap my head around it. That, Catherine, so Diana is saying that she believes that Chris Palmenter sold her. I don't believe he did. I don't believe he had anything to do with it, really. I think he was gone away. In my opinion, but I don't know. You know, I'm gonna be digging deeper into this case because I feel like I'm just at the surface or something. And I thought I was deeper than I was. But she's into a lot of that spiritual. We talked about that on our last live, the voodoo stuff, she likes to do, you know, the knives deal and the praying and all of that, like but like the cult-like behavior, you know. And so I don't know. She could have done something to her daughter. I feel in my heart she's still alive. I don't know. But I hope she's found
His
soon.
verdict came down just months ago in late May. The next month, Matalina's mother, Diana, was publicly named as a suspect. Why would it have taken so long for her to be listed as a suspect?
Yeah, that's, you know what, that got me too. We were just thinking about things that jump out of the page on you, and that's certainly one of them.
Whose phone's ringing?
What transpired during that time that she wasn't a suspect or the husband wasn't a suspect? You know, and we can't answer that because they're not going to tell you. And that's the frustrating part when you start.
One of their phones is going off. How embarrassing.
Looking into a case or delving into a case to want to get answers of where they are in investigations. And listen, I get it. You know, I've been involved in investigations that had to be kept, not so much secret, but you don't want to let certain investigative techniques or information out just in case there is something else that's going on with the case. I get that, but you just wonder what led to that. And you know what? Naming someone as a suspect is good, but why isn't she? Where's the next step? What's the next hurdle? You know, if you're going to the point of announcing she's a suspect, what else are you waiting for to either charge her or convene a grand jury or something like that? What are you waiting for? Or what else are you hoping comes up that you're avoiding or not getting to that level yet?
What happened next is that Diana apparently left the country. On her Facebook account, Diana posted a picture of herself seemingly on an airplane. The caption read, quote, "On the way from New York JFK
Yeah, they
to
had
Frankfurt."
you know that?
Then
yeah, they have a couple of your pictures on here and stuff from your Facebook. Yeah. Yeah, literally you have all the stuff. Who That's me. That's me. That's my phone going off. Oh. Oh. One of my best friends is calling me. That's my phone going. Oh my gosh. These are how embarrassing, and it's me. I don't know how to turn it off. We're writing it out. Okay, sorry. It was a Facebook call. I didn't know that. Okay. Sorry. One of my friends, she's getting married, right? Where's my invitation at, right? Where's my invitation? So I wrote her today and I told her that she's gonna make a beautiful bride and I love her. And she's calling me now. She probably doesn't realize that my name was changed on Facebook either.
to Bucharest after 9 years of absence from the country.
So you guys will see,
Bucharest
so you'll see on here a lot of the stuff that they post is from the Facebook group that Loves to Lurk is in charge of. She's, you put all the stuff on there.
in Romania. That's driving distance from
so
Diana's
funny
native
that my
country
phone was
of
going off.
Moldova. The next thing that happens after they announce the mother is the suspect, all of a sudden, we can't find her. She apparently is overseas. She went international, and investigators are saying they don't have her passport. They didn't collect it. So it is possible that she fled the country. I mean, would it even be considered fleeing the country right now? She doesn't have any charges against her.
No, not at all. And that's what I said about, naming a suspect. You're not constricting her. You can't collect anything from her. You can't take anything from her. All you're doing is what I said. You're giving her a heads up about where the investigation's going. And if she has the means, or any suspect at that point has the means to flee, that's what's going to happen. And that's what happened in this case. You're not taking her passport. You're not putting a flag or anything on her, or be on the lookout for, which we call a bolo. None of that is happening. So she kind of has free reign with a heads up to get to where she wants to go to get out of the country. And that's exactly what happened.
So now this case has gone international. We can't confirm 100% that she's over in Europe, but it seems pretty likely at this point. So what would it take for North Carolina or American authorities to go overseas, bring her home?
That's what I heard.
Well, she'd have to be charged, first of all. So,
So when she went to the embassy, do you think that's when she got her passport? Because she had to have gotten another passport if they're saying they still have her and Matalina's passports, you know what I mean, to get on the plane. But that's an easy to do it, they said. You just call, you do it online, you can, go in person. But I think the embassy was one of them they said you go to.
Now would be a perfect time to, if they have enough evidence to take, like I said before, the next step in actually charging her, now would be the best time to convene a grand jury, get her indicted if they have the evidence to do that. And if they do indict her now it's her. Now they have the means to put out, a alert on her passport, to get Interpol involved, to get HSI involved, to see if they could track her passport to see where she actually went. All of those can take place. And then if she is stopped somewhere, the ability to possibly extradite her, but it depends where she is.
So if it's possible for Diana to leave the country and she has roots in Eastern Europe, why list her as a suspect without charging her? Just based on what you're telling me right now, it doesn't seem like there's a huge incentive for officials to list someone publicly as a suspect, because things like this could happen. They could leave the country. There's no warrant out against them for their arrest. So why would law enforcement have listed her publicly as the suspect?
Well, again, not getting into their head or their, tactics, but sometimes when you do name someone a suspect, and you'll surveil them to see what they do next, so the surveillance of that person will kind of take place before you name them to see what they do. So if you're surveilling them and they all of a sudden take off towards an airport, that in my mind as a detective would be enough to stop them, to bring them into a precinct, to question them more about where you're going and what's going on. But just to blanketly say she's a suspect, this is what happens. And, sometimes it's a roll of the dice. There's people that you name as suspects that will break down and feel the pressure of being a suspect now and give up information, because they don't want to be on the run, and the pressure and stress of being named a suspect gets to them. That is certainly a tactic. But in this case, it worked the opposite, where she had a heads up and was able to take off.
And while investigators are keeping an eye on Diana, the public has some criticism for law enforcement based on the timeline of Matalina's case. We talked about blame a bit there with the mom and stepdad kind of pointing fingers at each other, but I'm wondering if there's any blame to be put, so to speak, on law enforcement. Just based on the timeline alone, I mean, blame might be kind of a strong word, but it's been quite a while since this girl was missing, and we don't even have charges for her abduction. What do you think?
Yeah, there's a responsibility to law enforcement without a doubt. But you don't know, again, when you're holding it close to, an internal, investigation sort of, and not giving it out to the public, you're not sure where they're at or why certain things took too long. Those are questions you would love to have. See, I always had in my mind kind of a time frame. It gets to a certain point where the game's up. Now you start involving the public. Now you go public with what you got, who you got, the evidence that you have, and that's what spurs people to come forward with more information. And I think at this point is the time. She's not here. If she's your main subject, you're going to have to get more information or more people on board to possibly charge her. So why not let the cat out of the bag at this point and lay out to the public what you got and ask the public's help?
Smith says it's possible and even likely that law enforcement know more than they're letting on. Is it possible that North Carolina investigators are already working with prosecutors, getting charges filed, and then potentially talking to the international authorities?
Absolutely. Again, if they're being quiet about it, a grand jury could get convened, through the DA's office. That could all be taking place, and then they'll just pop up and say, "Hey, we charged her. She's now officially charged with a murder or disappearance," however they categorize it. Depending on the evidence that they have. Now, could they be waiting for certain things to come back? Maybe they found a crime scene that they're not letting out. Maybe there's a DNA test that's being conducted right now that they're waiting on the results. We just don't know. And that's where, everyone's, responsibility is to bring the charges forward on her.
In your professional experience, what do you think is next in the investigation? What steps should investigators take if they want to bring charges?
Well, gather the evidence, present it to a DA, see what you have. If you have even the slightest ability to charge her, you do it. Because
they should
think about it, nothing's going to move forward if you don't charge her. Nothing. There's no power of law enforcement with this case unless she's charged.
The last person, right, by everyone's account, that saw Matalina Coari alive and well was her mom, Diana. Everybody's saying it. Diana even said Chris was out of there. He wasn't even there. He was in Michigan, right? So how is she able to get out of jail, walk out of jail in her 90s outfit with her 90s hair looking like Suzanne, whatever her name is, get in a vehicle, drive over to the pool and hang out there for a little while, find her mother, and then get on a plane to Moldova? How did we get to this point? Moldova doesn't have extradition treaty. They'll keep her. She's a citizen there. Maybe they'll think twice because it's a kid, but oh no. Man, this makes me so sad.
So if the evidence is there and you have the ability to do it, now is certainly the time to do it.
But there's more to the case than just Diana Coari. We've talked a lot about the suspect we have listed now, the mother, but we have to go back to the overarching theme here that this young girl, Matalina Coari, is missing. And it's been years since she was last seen. Is it possible that she's still alive and out there?
Sure. Because here's why. One person mentioned she could be somewhere. So you have to keep that as a viable lead until it's not. So if that wasn't the case, then this might be tricky in really getting to the end of this. But as long as someone even mentioned a viable lead of her being in another country, that lead does have to get ran down until it's proven that that is totally false, that didn't happen. But that has to be still a lead. These cases they're hard, but they're not. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but you know what has to be done. You know who you're looking for. You have the two people that are probably involved in this. So the only unknown is finding her. The players are there, and someone knows something. And I've said that in every case that I've ever done that becomes kind of a mystery. Someone knows something, and it's knocking on doors and showing her picture and getting out there and getting two people who may know something. And that's how things, the slightest little piece of information
Look at
can
that
help.
picture of her
And
smiling.
I would, like I said before, you plead to the public for that small piece of information that.
I don't know why he keeps rejecting my comments, but they're not bad. I just said I cover her case probably every couple of months, if not more. I'm going to dig into that religion Diana is practicing. And it said reject.
They may lead to the end of this.
If you have information about Matalina Coari's whereabouts, contact the Cornelius Police Department or the FBI. Reporting for Law and Crime,
thanks for giving us a phone number. I knew you wouldn't. I knew you guys wouldn't even look up a dang phone number. Heaven forbid. Yeah, I don't think they were either. They need a better department. Didn't the FBI though come in on this? Like, I just don't understand. You saw the picture of her getting off the bus. Yeah, we talk about it like, I mean, we've been covering this kid. Actually, you know what? Let's look really quick. Let's look at the playlist. I mean, I don't know if like sometimes my playlists aren't, I didn't add them in the beginning, but we're going to try. Oh, I got a lot of playlists, guys. Oh gosh, I need to delete some of these or like fix them for you guys. Okay, Matalina. Oops. Videos. The first one was December 20th, 2022. Only got 130 views. The videos don't get very many views. Like the most, it's so sad. She really needs it. It's not me. It's for, I mean, she needs it, the views. 924. That's not even her. Never mind. That's not even hers. So that was Idaho. I somehow got in there in her playlist. So that wasn't even hers. 309, 398. Wait, 529. 529. Isn't that crazy? Oh, man. So everybody hit the like button, all that good stuff. Get her name out there a little bit. She needs it. She needs it. She really does. It's sad. I'm going to dig into that. Like I said, I'm going to dig into that religion. We're going to go over that on one of the lives. I wrote it down. And then maybe I can even find somebody that's like an expert in that. I can look around, maybe like a professor or something that would know about it. I'll work my magic. I'll figure it out. But maybe we can get somebody over here to help us out with it. Hey, Carolina. Welcome in. Right, loves to lurk. They told me no too. I was like, can I please? I don't know. I don't even know if I write boys out right. I'm always like, hello, good afternoon. But I was like, can I please, just have like Diana Coari's like, I put out everything I want. I was like, jail calls and all of it. I want it all. And they were like, this is still an open investigation. We're not releasing that. And I'm like, what? I'm like, really? You're not? We're not releasing that? Because like right here it says Coari warrants. Like I still have the warrants for the house on here on my my banner. Isn't that crazy? But we've done 17 videos. And the first one was December 20th. 5 days after they reported her missing, the school did. Okay, so I wanted to show you this because I was reading this and it was very interesting. And like this is we're going to talk about Caleb Harris for a moment, but this was on the Caleb Harris website, Facebook website. If you guys are not aware, Caleb Harris was a missing guy, young man from Texas A&M, and he walked his dog one evening and he brought the dog back. He left the apartment, never to be found again until June. There were remains found across the street from his house in a sewage well. And after testing and autopsy reports, all that, DNA testing, they concluded that it was in fact Caleb's remains. So we just found that out over the last few days and we're waiting on the autopsy to come in. I did put in a FOIA for Caleb today too. So I put in a FOIA. They wrote me back and it was, I think, just like a junk email they just send, like, thank you, we'll send this to you or whatever. I gave them like all my information and everything. So hopefully they will either get back to me and let me know like something, or they'll send, his documents over. I did ask, I wasn't sure. I was like, is this where I would even ask for the autopsy? Like would it be through a FOIA or would it be through in the government office? That I'm not sure, but I did ask for it. The court proceedings, actually, I was going to show that first. Thank you for reminding me. Is it Santos Flow? Thank you. Because I was actually going to show you guys this first. Let's refresh this page, see if there's anything new on Brian Kohberger. I don't think there is. And we did go over it on the last live, his next court dates, but we can go over them real quick too. Okay, so Brian Kohberger, this is him up here. Look at how many files this guy's had, and we've read every single one of them. Watch us go. This is a lot. Geez, Kohberger. I wonder how many how many pages that is. Just curious, But the next court date is going to be, never mind. That's 24th. I think it's right here. Or September. Okay. Any motions challenging the death penalty shall be filed before September 5th. Your responses by 10th. Okay. A hearing on the motion shall be held on November 7th, 2024 at 10 a.m. So it looks like nothing till November. Yeah. But I mean, they may come out with something before then. But as of right now, the scheduling order is saying November 7th at 10 a.m. So to be 1 p.m. our time, Eastern Standard Time, if that's what you are. And I did put up tomorrow, I let you guys know in the beginning, but tomorrow morning at 11:15, I have a premiere coming out for the Idaho 4 season 2 episodes 4 and 5. It'll come out Saturday, Sunday, and they're going to be premieres. So you guys can go in there and actually talk to each other, chit chat. I'll be in there and all that good stuff. So it'll be fun. Tomorrow at 11:15. And I'll grab the link too. Okay, there you go. So we'll go over and we'll read this and then we'll maybe wrap it up for tonight. We'll see. It looks like they're having that candlelight vigil on Saturday, July 20th at 8 p.m. I bet a lot of people go. I hope a lot of people go. It's tragic. It makes you think. How, we talked about last night on the live, and we're going to have another live over him, over, Caleb's case, I'm sure soon, but it's like, it makes you think he was so close to home. Like why wasn't he found before? They said they searched there, plenty of times. They said multiple times. We heard it last night on, I played the clip of the cop saying that we searched that place multiple times. How did he get there? Well, that's a good question. So I'm going to read you guys this book that I found on Facebook. I did some checking. Okay, so it says right here, this post was written, and this is from the admin, by a local who has been searching for Caleb since the beginning. She has a few others who help as well. I find her comment very informative. She states the well was searched and drained on 4/17. Let me actually. Okay. Let's see what it says. I did some checking to my best ability, specifically for the reason of being in the field, searching, digging around, etc. I am not certain of the validity, but I was told that those particular fields may belong to the university. I was told that that particular corn is not eating corn. Oh, it's probably to feed animals. Oh, right there. That is used to feed animals, and that a local business uses the scratch/cackle terminology of the corn in their fuel. There are a couple of places where the cornfields say no trespassing. Whoever owns it, I find it interesting that they would even bother to plant the corn, then allow it to rot. To this day, it's not been plowed/shucked/tasseled. They have been in there a little bit, not much over the last week. The lift station where the well is, there is a small dirt road that leads to it, which runs parallel to the ditch. Okay, that makes sense. I said that on the live last night. I said I've only seen manholes like on streets and or dirt roads, like off of a dirt road. So they're saying this is off of a dirt road. This is the ditch that runs alongside the cottages, crosses under, and as Jocelyn continues on to Lexington, runs under Lexington and down to Rodfield. They're talking about, remember that underpass that you can go under? There's like the drainage ditch. This is the ditch. Okay, I think I read that. Sorry. The dirt road is not on anyone's private property. It's owned by the city. The Perry Place lift station has a sign on it that states Thompson Drive. It also has a city phone number posted. The fence around it is rickety and easily movable by strong hands. It can be lifted up from the bottom. It has 2 gates with padlocks. One is old and rusty, and the other one could crawl under there or even drag something or someone under if they wanted. Without actually being in there, I cannot speak to the type of lock and key on the well. One of our searchers stated how heavy the door is, that the lock could have been cut/changed. Question: when is the last time the lock and door to the well were actually opened? Supposedly, when the call went in about the manhole not being covered, the well was drained and searched, and there was nothing in there at the time. And that is what the cops did say on 4/17. Thank you, Naomi, for giving the membership. That's so nice. Thank you. Welcome in, Mama Bear. I like that name. I used to call my mom that. She is Mama Bear. According to someone with much knowledge, hold on. So it says, if that's true, then how was he there on 6/24? According to someone with much knowledge of the wells, it typically takes 2 people to open the door. The well inside is flush and sort of slippery. It does not have the bricks like where the manholes are. There are not rungs or steps. It's very deep, up to 41 feet, and not intended to be gotten into. To get into it, they use a machine to hoist someone down in there if needed, as was done the day the remains were found. According to city workers, the day the remains were found. At times they found themselves, they have to use like smelling salt because they pass out from the smell/gas even before they open the manhole. I guess that's the chemicals from the manholes. According to city workers, the day the remains were found, at times they themselves had to use like smelling salt because they'd pass out from the smell, /gas, even before they opened the manhole. They stated that the gases are horrific in some places and that if a person was down there alive, they could be gone within about 38 seconds. Now we're going to have to look into this. Now, does anybody know anything about manholes? Anybody know anything about sewage? I know somebody that probably works at a sewage company. I'm from a small town. I need to get resources out there. I need to get back out there. Because I probably do know somebody that works at a sewage company. I probably do. The day the remains were found, there was maybe 3 to 4 city workers at the well. there were another 6 to 7 on Lexington with a truck. What's different now, post remains found, there are now signs. Whoever owns the land behind the home has staked claim to their land by roping it off and posting private property. Well, did she just say in the beginning she thought that the property was owned by the university? What happened with that? Where are we at? So there are now signs. The home now has multiple motion lights facing the dirt road. And this is probably because they don't want TikTokers, YouTubers, and they're probably all there in that area trying to get back there to get footage of where Caleb was. And these people don't want their home is back there apparently. So it says there is now a very bright light on the pump/lift station building where it was just darkness before. There was an open manhole in the cornfield, which was really black dirt when Caleb went missing. It was not seeding green nor corn at the time. There are pictures and video proof of the open manhole 325 and on 417. Now the manhole is covered and there is a new concrete around it and an old cone sitting there as if to mark it. The manholes are between 80 and 125 feet from the well pump/lift station. The pump station has a sign that says Perry Place Lift Station, Thompson Drive. When you Google it, neither Perry Place Lift Station nor Thompson Drive come up. I walked it, mapping it out approximately 575 feet from Caleb's front door to the lift station. Wow. To be clear, the place where the well is being called 3 different things by people reporting it. It's being called pump station, lift station. The well is accessible via outside the building. Well, I don't know what I call it, manhole. What I know for sure, let's see. 4 days before remains were found, myself and those searching with me found what looked like What is this? Oh my Lord. She thought they found a bone. I don't know where I was at. In the ditch off Lexington, approximately 100 feet from the lift station. It was reported to Randy and Ellie. Approximately 2 days before remains were found, it rained. Remains were found on 6/24. I thought they were found 6/25. Let me see. Okay, it was the 24th. Just double checking, making sure. 2 days after the remains were found, myself and the searching with me found a rib in the ditch off Lexington, approximately 80 feet from lift station. It was reported to Randy and Ellie. You didn't sit there and wait for them to come and get it. I would stand there. What do you mean? You just saw it and you walked away. You called and you walked away? No. Now that don't make sense. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't make sense. I would stand there. If I saw a rib bone and I knew it was a rib and it wasn't from a deer, how do you know it was from a person? How do you know that was a human? I mean, like a human femur. Okay, I can see that. Kneecap, jaw. I could see that. But a rib, wouldn't you think that would be like deer or something? Like that's a deer rib, or I mean, I don't know the difference, but Oh, Aries. Doodlebug's bleeping out on us, she said. Oh, did he? JLR went there? I didn't see that. Wizard, I know that is weird. This is 38 seconds. But everything else is pretty much checking out, that I'm reading. Let's see. Since that time, we have found other things. All have been reported to Randy and Ellie. Since it's been stated that the wastewater/sewage and runoff water do not merge together, I can't explain why items were where they were. As for the cornfield, I did attempt to see what it was like barefoot. There are dry stalks everywhere. Looks like a massacre there at ground zero, as if rodents and animals alike are eating the dry, nasty corn. The amount of bugs, ants, bees, worms, something that felt like fleas and ants jumping, crawling, getting on me, and biting was very overwhelming. Ooh. The ground is brittle and hurt feet badly, but not as bad as everything biting, constantly getting covered in ants, etc. I grew up here, walked barefoot all the time. I do not anymore. I do not believe that Caleb walked into this field in the pitch black on a very foggy night for any reason, especially without shoes. I believe that something was done to him. And I agree. I don't believe he just walked up in that cornfield either. Like, I don't see it. I don't see that. I truly don't. I grew up around cornfields. There's not a chance I would go out. I was actually, I think it might have been today. I was running the girls out to like our side yard, and I had on sandals, I had Birkenstocks on, but I was thinking, would I walk outside barefoot, like just to take the dogs out? And I was like, no, I wouldn't, because I don't like bugs. I don't like bugs. I don't want bugs getting on me. So that's what they had to say. Now tomorrow is a full moon, so get ready for the craziness. Get ready for the craziness. And thank you for gifting so many memberships, Naomi. Did we get Aries in one? Yeah, let me gift out those 5. Or I forget. I almost forgot. I do that. I do that sometimes. I don't mean to. What? Okay, we gotta look at this. What's this about? This is insanity. Okay, we might have to watch this. It says 340-pound woman accused of unaliving foster son by sitting on him for acting up.
Did not have to happen. He didn't have to die. He just wasn't being monitored by someone that actually cared about him.
And I'll get that
Indiana
membership.
foster mother gets locked up as she now faces charges in connection to the death of her foster child. 48-year-old Jennifer Lee Wilson is charged with reckless homicide for the death of her foster son, Dakota Stevens. The case unfolded in April of this year when young Dakota was rushed to the hospital. Wilson reportedly told investigators the 10-year-old ran away earlier that day, and she brought the boy home after finding him at a neighbor's home. After they returned to Wilson's home, Dakota reportedly was acting up and threw himself on the ground. According to the Indy Star, Dakota was placed in Wilson's care just a month prior.
I want to be on that same benefit of the doubt, the fact that the two didn't really know each other. But my problem is that she's supposed to be a foster parent. She's supposed to have been vetted to conduct herself appropriately and to understand the traumas that children like this, not just the person in her home at that time, but all of the children that are in the foster system are dealing with a lot more than a typical child would be. So the expectation should have been that she would have known how to manage this child, no matter what the child was doing, no matter what the behaviors were.
You don't
she
sit
should
on
have been
them.
vetted already
340 pounds.
To know what to do.
Look how small
in cases like this.
While the young boy was on the ground, Wilson told police she lied on the boy's body to keep him under control while she called his caseworker. That act would have devastating consequences. While Wilson sat on his less than 95-pound body, Dakota screamed and then stopped moving. Wilson reportedly told police she thought Dakota was faking, but when she rolled him over, his eyelids were pale.
It takes minutes for suffocation. Minutes, lady, minutes. Not seconds. So you were sitting on him for minutes while he was not moving.
It's almost unbelievable.
Crazy.
I mean, once you start looking at, how all of this unfolded and
he is teeny tiny.
Decisions that were made by the adults, not the alleged killer in this case, but all of the adults that are surrounding this child who are supposed to protect him. I mean, it's just a tragedy all around.
Wilson would tell authorities she sat on top of Dakota for about 5 minutes. Dr. John Delatorre, a forensic psychologist, explains Wilson's quest for authority would have tragic consequences.
5 minutes,
I don't
though?
know that she thought it was
5 minutes. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna. I should make us sit here for 5 minutes, but I won't. But can you imagine 5 minutes with a 340-pound person on you?
a good idea. I think
I
what she
couldn't.
was thinking was probably something along the lines of, I need to throw my weight around. I need to get authority back, right? That the literal throw my weight around. The reality is that it didn't matter how much she weighed. The fact that she put herself on top of this child suggests to me that she was ill prepared to manage these kinds of extreme behaviors that a child in the foster care system would have been
It's even
experiencing.
worse.
But the problem is that
It's worse when it's a foster parent to me. I mean, you know what I mean? It just cuts me even deeper because these are people that are supposed to be dedicating their life to children, to want to raise children that are in the system, you know, want to nurture these children. And then they do this, they abuse them. I don't get it.
all these children in foster care systems are experiencing extreme behaviors because of all the things that they've already been subjected to, even to that point.
Dakota was airlifted from a hospital in Porter County, Indiana, to South Bend, Indiana, where he was ultimately taken off life support. The doctor's findings would piece together more clues into the young boy's final moments. They found swelling on his brain, which was consistent with oxygen deprivation for an extended period of time. And young Dakota was pronounced dead. The St. Joseph County Coroner's Office would rule the 10-year-old's death as a homicide, and his cause of death would be mechanical asphyxia, an asphyxiation where a physical force or object stops a person from breathing.
I can't even put words into it. I don't know what this child would have been experiencing. I know it would have been terrible. I mean, terrible isn't even the right word to describe what this child would have been going through. Never in his life did he ever think that he was safe. And everything was taken out of him. Literally, his breath was taken from him. And just how awful that is when you experience it as an adult, when you lose your wind, right?
No, I collapsed a lung and I know what it feels like to not be able to breathe, like seriously not be able to breathe. Like you're dying. Like I was literally dying. They had to rush me into surgery, put chest tube in. I could not imagine being this little boy and knowing there's no help in sight. Like, you know what I mean? I was in a hospital when my lung collapsed. I was in the ICU. So I had people right there. This little boy had nobody. And the person he thought he had was sitting on him.
When you get the wind knocked out of you,
wow.
Just the prolonged,
it makes me feel like I can't breathe, you know,
torture that it would have been for him to go through, not only through his life, but during those last
Thank
moments.
you, ALR.
But nearby home surveillance
Thank
video
you.
would reveal more into Dakota's tragic death. Really quick, I want to thank Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring today's Law and Crime YouTube takeover. If you've ever...
Who's that lady? I don't remember ever seeing her.
According to police, a 20-second clip from a Ring camera video showed Wilson lying across Dakota's neck and head area as he screamed. Then another video reportedly showed Dakota still screaming while Wilson, as from a Ring camera video.
Ring camera? Oh, a Ring camera? This was outside?
Second clip from a Ring camera video showed Wilson lying across Dakota's neck and head area as he screamed. Then another video reportedly showed Dakota still screaming while Wilson, who weighed nearly 350 pounds, was on top of him with her right arm and elbow planted on the ground. A third video then shows Wilson still on top of Dakota near his bottom, while the 10-year-old whose arms were above his head showed he was no longer moving.
Are these all from a Ring camera? They better be. And where were the people? Where were people when this was all going on?
A fourth video reportedly showed Dakota and Wilson still in the same position while Dakota was still not moving. Then a fifth video showed Wilson on her knee facing Dakota while he was face down on the ground. Upon realizing the young child wasn't moving, Wilson reportedly shouted his name several times and asked her other children to call 911.
Well, I think part of it was probably she had tunnel vision. I think she probably thought that she needed to gain control of the situation right then and there. And once she made that decision, the rest of the environment kind of faded away. I'm not really sure that she truly recognized that she was doing it in front of everybody. I think she knew where she was. I just don't know that. That the environment was influencing her the way that it should have been doing.
So,
and when it comes to inside the house,
there was people there. What was? Oh my Lord.
house. I mean, that's the thing, is if she's willing to engage in that kind of pseudo disciplinary behavior on the outside.
Look at the home. I mean, you never would guess on the outside looks like a nice little home. And apparently she's in the front yard throwing bows with the kid. Oh my gosh. 10 years old. He looked younger than 10. He looked small.
She's clearly willing to engage in pseudo disciplinary behavior inside the home when no one else is watching.
The 10-year-old reportedly sought out for help prior to his tragic death. Officers say they made contact with the neighbor who said Dakota ran to her house about 30 minutes before emergency crews arrived. The neighbor told investigators the young boy asked her to adopt him because his parents hit him in the face and didn't let him call his caseworker.
Oh my Lord. That breaks my heart. Will you adopt me? Oh my Lord.
But the neighbor reportedly didn't see any visible injuries on Dakota. However, as Dr. Delatorre explains, abuse in foster homes is a lot more prevalent than we may recognize.
And I think that problem is twofold. I think there are situations in which Child and Family Services, however, each state has a different name for it, but we'll just call it Child and Family Services, how each state is funding that program, that agency within its state. I think there's also a problem with the number of cases that each case manager would have. I think there's also a problem with the number of foster parents and appropriate foster parents. And, people talk about, should parents have parental training before they have a child? The reality is that these foster parents.
Hell yeah. Sign me up. If I ever have a kid, make me go to classes or something beforehand. I'd be so scared. What do I do with this thing? I know everyone goes through that, but do you know what I mean? Like, sign me up for some parental classes.
Parents probably do need parental training before they have a foster child. So I think that society in and of itself has to start dealing with the fact that if we are to claim that we are a family first country, then we need to make sure that we are funding the programs in which children can actually be safe.
And here's what else we know about Dakota Stevens. Dakota was placed in Wilson's care about a month prior.
He does look very small.
To his death. And before that, he had reportedly spent the last 5 years of his life moving around to different foster homes. According to Indy Star, Dakota's parents lost custody of him and his younger sister in 2018 after the Department of Children's Services concluded his parents were unable to care for the children. According to the outlet, other family members have tried unsuccessfully for several years to gain custody of him and remove him from the foster care system. Dr. Delatorre says Dakota's unstable home life, like many other children in the foster care system, make them very vulnerable.
But I can't imagine that it does anything good. I mean, the reality is that a lot of these children deal with lingering trauma effects, that they deal a lot with substance abuse as they get older, a lot of depression, anxiety, right? That they find themselves in other relationships as they get older that are just as abusive. I mean, these kinds of things have long lasting effects that they don't understand at the time that they are happening. The adults do, the adults should know. And so the adults should be considering their behaviors when they're interacting with these children. They're already vulnerable. Every child is vulnerable, but these children in particular are already vulnerable. And the exposure and the long-term exposure and the long-term consequences of these traumas that they're experiencing, I mean, there's too many consequences to really list out.
Jennifer Wilson was arrested across state lines in Michigan after a warrant was issued, and she was charged with reckless homicide, a charge that reportedly carries a sentence of up to 6 years in prison as a level 5 felony.
Yeah, prosecutors decide, how they're going to charge. They do that for using a calculus that only really they know. They have to present the case. They have to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt. That they probably don't think that there's an actual malicious intent, right? The criminal intent associated with murder or something like that, or at least that they don't have the evidence to prove that. I mean, sometimes I think that the person's underlying motives should be included into the presentation of the case, but that's not the law. Right. And so we have to really think about, we have these laws in place for a certain reason. And if we think that the laws aren't representative of who we are as a society today, then you know what? Maybe we should change them.
While Wilson now faces a charge of reckless homicide, many questions still remain in the case, including why did this happen and what more can be done to protect children who are within the system.
I think it's important to understand that there are a lot of services for families that go underfunded, and a lot of the workers in them are overworked. Some of them are to blame for a lot of these consequences, but I think if we were more considerate as to how we are giving them the resources necessary for all individuals to ensure that children make sure that.
They're just talking more about the foster care system, but Wow. 340 pounds and you sat on him. And you didn't just, there's 3 videos of you doing it. Like, who took the videos? Are these all Ring camera videos? Or, I mean, surely I would almost hope so. I would hope there weren't neighbors out there with their cell phones videotaping this and not helping. You know what I mean? And, but, your Ring camera, when it is set off, you know what I mean? When it's the sensor's alerted and the camera turns on, it sends you an alert to your phone. Vincent gets alerts every single time I walk out of this house and I come back in with the dogs. He knows every time I leave. But those people that lived in that area would have got that alert, right? So they would have looked at their phone and at least probably maybe looked at the video for a second. You would think like, oh, I got an alert on my video. Like, let me check. Like, I don't know. Unless it just happens all the time and they just skipped over it. But that's still, man, crazy. Was that, I never saw that advertisement before. No, but my dad loved Friendlies. He did. He liked their ice cream or something, I think. I remember going there as a kid. It was in Philadelphia. We didn't have one here in Ohio. I think they had one at some point in Ohio, though. It is dangerous, yeah. But I mean, I think they might have just glanced over her, like just looked over her. Maybe thought, oh, you know, it looks okay over there. I don't know. Okay. I think that's all I have for you guys, really. I mean, you know, not too much. Not too much. Just a little small live tonight. I was trying to see if there's anybody. I was going to see who's on live. If there was anybody live this evening, but I don't think there really is. I need to, like, my playlist is kind of messed up right now. I looked at like one video earlier and now like all this weird stuff's coming up. You know, like you do that, like animal stuff, which is fine. I like animal stuff, but I like watched like a dog video earlier. Now it's like all dog videos. Oh, what'd you make, West? You eat late dinner too? I used to eat later dinner, but I've been eating it a little bit earlier. And I'm gonna go in. I want to get into Matalina. It's I want to get into that little cult deal that Diana's in, or religious group that whatever she practices. We're gonna go through that because I think that would be really interesting. I'll go through it, and if it sounds interesting, then I'll bring it to you guys. But I'm sure it'll be interesting. I'm sure it will be. Yeah. What's for dinner? I'm like, what's for dinner? We had spaghetti tonight. Well, I had spaghetti. Vincent had some sort of Japanese stuff on his noodles. Taco salads. Oh, I love taco salad. I have that at least once a week. I'm telling you, once a week. I eat like the same 4 or 5 things. It's bad. Vincent doesn't get it. Like, he likes everything. He likes like all the good stuff. Like the stuff I wish I liked. Like I don't know, like pretty stuff. Like his stuff always looks so pretty. Like his food always looks so nice, like all colorful with all like the vegetables and all like the stuff. And like you'll see me and I'm just like plain. Like I'm just so plain. I'm so plain. And I hate it, but I can't help it. Can't help it. It is all about Aries' birthday tomorrow. I'm gonna get a banner going and everything. So say happy birthday, Aries. I'll make a song. Don't make me. I need a ukulele or harmonica would work. Subway Club. Our Subway's never open anymore. Like we'll go over there at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They're closed. Well, people don't want to work anymore. No one wants to make a sub. But now that I have all you guys here, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Does anybody have in this group, before I go to the doctor, has anybody ever had like metal implant? Like, and does anyone have metal in their foot? I don't think anyone here does. Because your girl today, I woke up this morning and my foot was asleep. Just my foot. And it's my left foot, the one that has all the metal and the screws and stuff in there. And I was like, oh, that's weird. You know, I was like, I don't have to walk on my foot for a minute, like, and get it to stop being asleep. Well, it's numb. It's like numb. It's not like asleep. I thought it was. It was this morning, but it's more numb. And I can't bend my toes at all. Like I couldn't bend them hardly before, like movement. But now there's like no movement. I'm wondering if I like slept on it funny. If anyone's ever had that problem, like where, you know, somewhere with metal, it goes numb and then you get feeling again. I'm hoping the feeling comes back. And then my toe was killing me today. Oh gosh, it was a crazy day, guys. I had a rough day today. But my foot, I've been limping. It took me 30 minutes to take the dogs out when it normally takes me like 10 to 15. I mean, it was bad. I was like going so slow. I'm about to get my wheelchair out of storage. It's just right over here, like literally just to get it out so I can roll around faster. It looks a little swollen to me. It does look a little swollen. So when I get off here, I should go elevate it actually. It could be. Because my mom had she had like RA. I think it could be. I mean, I know I have it. I have neuropathy. Yeah, I know I have that. Where like parts of my face are numb and I can't feel. But it's weird because my foot's never been like that, like the bottom. And I'm just like, and it hurts. My foot doesn't hurt. My toe hurts because it's like where I'm like hitting like this part of my toe. But it does look a little swollen when I looked at it, but not like real swollen, just teeny tiny little bit. But I'm gonna put it up and elevate it, and yeah, because I don't know. They wanted me to wear compression stockings. Maybe I should put those on. I think I have a pair of like Under Armour ones. Can't remember. Oh, I'm not being seen tomorrow. Who's being seen? Oh, no, I'm not gonna be seen. I wish I was. If you're talking to me. No, they'd have to, I'd have to call I can't remember my surgeon's name. I cannot remember his name. I've been trying to think of it for like the last 3 weeks. I need to look it up. I haven't seen him in years because I haven't needed him. The other side of your knee's been numb from the beginning after replacement. Yeah, it'll be numb probably forever, Ladybug. Does it itch? It's weird when something is numb and then it itches. You can't scratch the itch. Has anyone had that problem? Oh, it's the worst problem to have. Happens to my face all the time. It'll feel like I'm like I have an itch, and I'll do this, but I can't feel it. But I can feel the itch part, but I can't feel the scratch. And that's weird, isn't it? I might sing the Aries tomorrow, Mary Beth. I don't think Aries would like that, but it might hurt his ears. Might hurt his ears. Well, I hope that Aries has the best day tomorrow. And we'll know. I know we'll see him in the chat. He'll be here. He'll be here with us. You have that too. I think didn't you say that before, SG? I was gonna say there was someone in the chat that said it one night, and I was like, oh my gosh, someone else has that too. Because it's nice to not be the only person with something weird. Like, you know, where it's like you think you're going crazy because you're scratching this thing and it's not helping. And so then I laugh. I do it on here sometimes. I'll just be giggling because I'll be like scratching it. I'm pretty sure I have. I think these are just my implants though. I don't think these are my records. No, these are just like my implants. But look at all that. That's a lot of paperwork for like implants. I mean, I don't know how many pages are here. 20 something. It's a lot. I was going to go through that with you guys one day. I'll have to go through my injuries with you because some of them I was surprised when I was like, oh, like anemia. I was like, oh, I had that? I didn't even know that. Like, okay. Look at that. Dreamcatcher, I got it. Thank you so much. In the beginning of the live, I was thanking everybody. Thank you. I should have got it because I had a few orders and I was like so excited. I was in here doing orders and I was like, look at me go, Vincent. Because it seems like it's like last month was kind of a slow month. And I don't really promote my store as much as I should. I need to promote it more. I need to put like my pictures of my mannequins over there. I mean, the clothes and stuff are so cute. I mean, Mary Beth has shows most of them. You got the shawl. Is that what you got the shawl today? Because oh my, if that's what you got, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I have one. I actually have both colors. I went ahead and I got it both because I was like, these are cute. And I like wearing like little shawls. Like that's just something simple. You can put on like a tank top and dress it up. Or you can wear it as a bathing suit cover up. That's what I did last year. Or you can wear it with like a big chunky belt and like a tank top under it. That would be cute. I have so many ways you could dress that up, dress it down. You wear it with like leggings, dress it down a little. I saw the comments. Thanks, Mary Beth. I was like, where's Mary Beth at? Wait a minute. Where's she at? She works during the day. But yeah, I hope my foot feels better tomorrow. But I figured I'd tell you guys because, you know, you're who I come and tell things to. You're who I tell my problems to. I told Vincent, he just was like, oh, that's weird. And I'm like, it's going to be real weird when I'm busting out the wheelchair. Because, I mean, I can't move that fast. I hate when I can't move fast. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to, like, get somewhere. I'm like, dang it, I can't go. So, but thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate you guys coming tonight. It's just a little shorter live. I didn't see anybody really live tonight. But I'm gonna go and I'll look around. There's nothing really going on in Sebastian's case, as far as I know. There is somebody. We'll go over this tomorrow, actually. There's somebody that was trying to come in on the scene on the Sebastian Rogers case, and she was trying to say that she was with like Cajun Navy or something, and she went up on Queen Bee's panel and she was like, we decided that we want you, Queen Bee, to represent Sebastian and get his story out and the facts out. What who out of all the people? I mean, she even said it. Queen Bee was like, me? Come on now, girl. Like no one believed it. But she was on her panel for like an hour today trying to convince anybody in this chat of 1,000 people. One person didn't convince one that she was legit. Like this woman, I was about to go up on panel. I was so mad. I was like, where's the link? So this lady, basically, she came out and she says she's like, once she's the spokes, like she knows like people in the investigation, right? And they want Queen Bee, which is a creator on the platform. She does true crime, but she does more drama. You know, she's the drama side, more drama side. And I even said that, I was like, Queen Bee's not even true crime. Like, why would you come to Queen Bee? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand she has a big platform, I guess that could work, but a lot of people do true crime too, like way bigger platforms, millions of people. Why wouldn't you go to one of them? You know, like if you had all this insider information, I don't know, but it was pretty funny. And it had me fired up. So maybe we'll watch that tomorrow and we'll do like a fun live. Cause it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. But thank you guys all for being here tonight. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all those things. If you guys don't mind. And oh yeah, and double check your subscriptions, because I remember Ashley was saying something about hers was like unsubscribing her at one point. So I don't know if that is still happening to her or not. She wasn't here tonight for me to ask. But thanks again for being here. Don't forget, like I said, hit the like, subscribe, share button. I'll see you guys all tomorrow 9:15 here. Actually, tomorrow morning I'll see you on the premiere at 11:15. So 11:15 for the premiere. I don't know if I still have I think that should be the link right there for the live tomorrow. So that'll be for the Idaho 4. So I will see you guys all tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening and have a wonderful weekend if I don't see you. Bye, guys.